Hi, everybody, and welcome to the CityHawk Talk Live, produced by students and faculty of the Community College of Denver. And we've got a jam-packed lineup today. Dr. Nick, you're here, my co-host.
I am here. How are you, Chuck?
I'm really good. We have a theme today. I think Zoe is taking us to the next slide, which is super fun. Oh, there we go. Today's episode, we're pumpkin spice everything. So we have some pumpkin spice fun ahead. I love pumpkin spice, a latte. Let me tell you.
Do ya?
Sorry, boss.
Yeah.
Right. And that new Spice Girl, I love her. Pumpkin spice.
She's fantastic.
Right. The big fat orange head. I don't think she believes the election results. And I'm struggling, boss. I'm working today to support my favorite charity, the Walk for Gout.
Oh, yes.
It is not a long walk, but the more money you raise, the less you have to walk. So
there we go.
I am suffering from a little bit of gout. Let's give away our first piece of pumpkin spice. Here, everybody enjoy a nice pumpkin spice latte. It's virtually delicious, which means this is a lot cheaper than a Starbucks latte because, it's yours virtually free. You can just carry that around with you and enjoy a delicious pumpkin spice latte.
You can be virtually basic.
Right. Oh, there's nothing basic about. Okay, sorry. I cleaned out for a minute, boss girl. Sorry. We have just a couple of announcements. Then our first guest, because she's shooting a show across the hall over at the Tonight Show. So we got to get her from one studio to another. October 26th is the Pumpkin Patch from 3 to 6 p.m. in historic 9th Street Park, which is just gorgeous. It's one of the reasons why I love our campus. It's one of my favorite spots. It's one of my happy places on campus. So go to 9th Street, view all the historic buildings, and enjoy the Pumpkin Patch on the 26th from 3 to 6 p.m. And free food for you and your pets. And your pets. Nice job, students, finding that out. Look, if you're a student at the Community College Denver faculty, I believe, stay. Especially if you're a student, and go get some free food. If you're living on your own, and carb up, get some cereals and whatnot.
It's a great way to supplement, your meal planning. It gives you some, staples to fix in a bind when you need to, study an extra hour on campus. You can pack a lunch with some, stuff you can whip together from the pantry. It's awesome. It's one of the best advantages, I think, of being a CCD student. We do some fundraisers during the year and ask folks to bring canned goods so that we can contribute over to the food bank.
Oh, so cool. And I didn't know diapers and baby food as well. So, and pet food, so I'm not sure if they have pet diapers, but we'll, if not, we'll do a fundraiser. And the food pantry is located in the Tivoli, and the dates were on the screen. So I hope you really paid attention, or else, this show moves fast, folks. You'll have to watch the rerun on YouTube. Today, we have an awesome guest, a friend of mine from 7,000 committees that we're on together this semester. Would you please welcome Kim Gottfredsen, everybody?
Excellent. Hey, Kim, on all of those committees, which committee would you most want to pumpkin spice?
Oh boy, the dogs just ran out after me. They all need a bit of pumpkin spice at this point. Well, we got academic standards, a couple of really interesting things with teaching online, a couple of professional development that's been keeping Chuck and I very, very busy, I think.
Right. So, learning how to be better teachers. And I'm in the AQ training. I think you're in that one. And
I am in AQ as well.
One where
What do you teach?
Oh, so hi, everybody. I'm Kim Gottfredsen. I'm a biology professor over at CCD. And usually you'll find me in a general biology class or a microbiology class is sort of my thing. We were talking about PhDs and degrees earlier, and micro is what my degree is in.
Very,
microbiology.
Yeah. Microbiology. So I'm so all about COVID stuff, I guess, nowadays. But
right. And enough talking about me. You've got a scholarship that you'd like to talk about today.
Yeah, so we were so lucky to get an NSF grant that will support students in a STEM major.
Is that
So
a
what's
not safe for work grant?
it's
Sorry.
well, no, that's okay. Yeah, so if you are a STEM major or if you know a STEM major, please pass this information on. But we have a lot of money to give to students. And a STEM major would be any student studying science, technology, engineering, or math. And basically, the grant pays up to 2,500 a semester.
Wow.
So
Nice.
it's pretty good. And I hate to, see that money go to waste. And there are some things I would just do a Google search for CCD scholarships. Actually, we have a lot of really good scholarships at CCD. But this one's probably the best in my opinion.
Right. Some good money and in the STEMs.
So all you have to do to qualify is be interested or studying in a STEM field.
So it's a little bit more involved than that, unfortunately.
Sure.
You have to have a GPA of 3.0.
Okay, you have to be kind of smart. Okay.
Kind of smart, and actually that's really smart. Yeah, so you have to have a GPA of 3.0. We are looking mostly for first-year students. I would say if you have less than 15 credits, you probably have a little bit of an advantage of someone that has 30 credits.
okay.
But we will be considering, anyone in their first year study. So if you're unsure, I would say just apply. We have interviews. So if you are accepted, the first step would be an interview.
Sure.
Awesome.
So if they get an interview, they should come over to the 5th floor of the King Center and get some tips on personality and how to nail that interview in performing arts.
Right.
Yeah, things have been a little bit virtual now because of COVID, but that'll probably change, and we'll have rolling admissions every year for the next 4 years. So if, say, you're a theater major and, you may want to think about finishing your associates in theater and then maybe move on to a degree in chemistry or something, this grant will still be here for you because we will be looking at your chemistry credits, not your theater credits. So
Okay.
Excellent.
And then, our students have friends, so this is something, if you know somebody, send them over. What about somebody who's just applying to the college?
Absolutely, definitely. If they can show high school transcripts with their GPAs and show that they're just entering, yeah.
Okay,
money's
cool.
there.
And what would be the steps? I'm going to introduce you to Stacey Sanders while I got you here, because I like you probably hear me talk about my work with youth and foster care, like when we're in committee meetings. Stacey is the executive director of the Elevating Connections. And so we always like to try and think about how a youth who, might be from the foster care system, maybe they're getting their GED. Is that possible for someone to have a GED and then get this scholarship, or do they have to get to that 3.0 level?
So the thing is, if they're an incoming student with a GED, they're going to have to show somehow that they're are able to meet that high GPA qualification, because if they lose that GPA once they're at CCD, they will lose the scholarship.
Okay.
So it would be detrimental to their education if they weren't prepared for college. But those are exactly the types of people we want to help. In fact, the grant is written to support low-income, academically talented students. So that is who our target audience is. So I would really, really recommend. I'm not sure with the GEDs, do they give them like a test score at the end, something along those lines?
I have no idea, but I
Stacey
am
may know.
sure if we've got students that are interested, we will put them in touch with who they need to know to get what they need.
Stacey, I put you on the spot. You're showing up later in the show. But do you know if the kids who pass their GED, do they have some sort of a grade, or?
There are scores, yeah, that come with the GED. So I can get more information about that, but I'm guessing there's a way to figure out that piece, even if they do a semester of college at CCD.
Absolutely.
And then get those grades up and get the GPA they need, and then they can apply for the scholarship for their second semester.
Right.
Yeah, that would that would be perfect.
Yeah, there's got to be a way.
Yeah, I had a feeling
GED scores count for.
I had a feeling you
Stacey, I'll
might.
be in touch.
Right. That's what I thought Stacey would ask. And so then I wanted to make sure you meet each other. And then I'll follow up to make the connection. And then we're going to learn more about Stacey and her work later in the show. But Kim, I think Zoe is ready to put the slide up about the scholarship.
Oh, perfect.
And does this help? Is there anything we've missed, or folks know where?
So just a heads up, I mean, the easiest way is just a Google search for CCD scholarships. The scholarship page will come up. You'll see this, I think we're the second one on the list or something like that, the academic and career scholarship experience. And the great thing is the scholarship not only gives money, but it also gives a lot of support to the students. The students will have a faculty mentor that they work with throughout the year to keep them on track. These mentors are trained in somewhat advising. They are there to help guide them into the next step, and then the other thing is we have monthly meetings together, and these meetings talk about some of the most important skills that you need to succeed in any college class, not just STEM classes. So we have, presentations from financial aid. We just finished a great presentation on time management. In December, we have UCD's transferring, the transfer group coming to talk about what the steps are for transferring to a four-year college. So there's a lot of opportunities, not just the money.
Right.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, so I don't want to say it's totally rolling admissions, but right now it is. And so the first deadline is October 15th because that is financial aid sort of deadline for scholarships to close in the fall, but it'll reopen in December. So students that are currently first year, trying to get their GPA, they'll be able to reapply in the spring, and then they could start the program next fall.
Awesome. I know you have a appointment coming up within, you mentioned meetings, and you have one, I believe, in 2 minutes. So I'm so grateful you asked, you reached out, and it's awesome to see you again virtually. And please come back and keep us informed about the ACE scholarship program.
Yes, Chuck, thanks for letting me talk about this. This is such a great opportunity. And Stacey, it was great to meet you. And
I'm meeting you. I feel like we're going to be talking soon.
I feel like it too. This is awesome. This is really awesome. So everybody enjoy the show and have a great evening.
All right. Good night, Kim. Thank you.
Kim.
Good night.
I love that joke, by the way. We do that on my other show, like just, they were up the hall filming like it's the Tonight Show. Boss, 15-minute Hamlet.
15-minute Hamlet coming in 2 weeks, brought to a courtyard near you, unmasked, unseated, no charge. The greatest play maybe ever written, some argue boiled down into 15 minutes of pure inanity. Come get the highlights. It's theater for busy people and a whole lot of fun.
Right. I got to tell you, this is Shakespeare at my attention span.
Yeah.
15 minutes outside and such. I'm so stoked. I can't wait to see it on 9th Street Amphitheater.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really cool. So way to go, boss, getting us some theater outside. And here's some screenshots. This is during the rehearsals.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Is this just you're trying to launch the gay agenda? Is that?
yeah, all over again, right? Masks,
remember those days?
It all came from my closet. It's not
right. Speaking of your closet, a little bit of sword play, and I don't want to give away the show too much, but you've already got us interested. And I think this is our first time getting some rehearsal footage. So nice job to the production cast for getting us those photos and getting them into the slideshow. Zoe down there in the booth in the truck, you're knocking it out. We got an improv jam tomorrow. Hannah, are you available and open to chat? Say hello briefly and rep the old squad. There's Hannah. somebody spotlighted you and I removed it all at once. Hannah, this is just my stupid humor, Hannah. When I see improv jam, like right away, I know that it's a improv thing and it means stage time, but I'm like, oh, jam, got to put pictures of jam. So pardon my awkward creativity, but you have an improv jam tomorrow at 6:30.
We do, in King Center 135. If you can't find it, it's on the main floor of King Center and the big purple door. Completely free. You do not have to be a CCD student to attend, and you do not need any experience to attend either.
Right. Thank you, Noah. I'm glad you love jam, commenting in the comment section. And we got more improv shows going on throughout the semester. So
what about pumpkin spice jam?
Oh my God. I hadn't considered it, but
now you are.
After I throw up a little, I guess I'll have some. Nice. If pumpkin spice latte jam, totally gross. But Hannah's improv shows are the jam and very fun. So get down there, meet some students. If you're watching, just hang out, watch the improv.
I have laughed so hard sometimes at the most, inane, asinine, ridiculous, unexpected moments. I mean, just a good belly chuckle guffaw that's good for the soul.
Oh, sure. And speaking of belly guffaws and chuckles, it's time to meet our next guest. This guy is funny, everybody. This guy is very funny. Would you please welcome Andres Becerill?
Hello.
Hi, sir. Good to see you. And I'm gonna add you a little spotlight. And look at you, buddy. We got rid of Andres. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh no,
we got him back.
Oh, good.
Hi, sir. Good to see you.
Hey, Chuck. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Nobody's doing as good as you, though. Walk me through this. You took a class at the Community College of Denver. The class was called Comedy. It was I was the one getting schooled because it was my first day of teaching. And out of there comes like you took the class, wrote an act, and now you're performing comedy. Like what 38 nights a week? You're doing lots of shows.
Lots of shows.
Tell us about yourself. Walk us through it a little bit. Great to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. I think almost 7 years ago now, 14 semesters ago, something like that. Chuck took over because there was a comedy class before you, right? Somebody had run it maybe once or twice.
Yes.
And
Chris Voss, who's now touring and opening for one of the rednecks of comedy there. So.
Oh yeah, good for him. But so then you got it, and I remember needing the theater credit, and I always like stand up, and I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. And then I didn't realize stand up was like heroin, and I got pretty addicted. And
oh my God,
7 years. It's been 7 years of chasing mics and doing shows and touring when I can, and just it's what I live and breathe now.
Touring is for real. But I want to get back to chasing mics, which is code for going to dive bars, drinking PBR, and waiting for stage time.
Correct. Yes.
Right.
Sounds so glamorous.
Right. And so it's short for open mic. An open mic is the kind of show where a new comedian can try some comedy. But what is that like to leave a class and then get to an open mic and try your jokes?
Well, it was definitely a jump. I didn't have the warmth of Chuck Roy in the room with me to help me figure out how the joke works. I just had the audience's silence.
Right. That's a reward of its own kind.
Definitely. So no, I mean, it's awesome though, because you get to it's one of the best places to learn. If you're not actually like in a classroom setting, I highly encourage, to really like get an interest in stand up to go to an open mic and see the different levels that people are at. And if you stick around long enough, you'll actually see people get better, or some people never learn, but there's a lot to be seen at an open mic. And it's a real interesting, you meet a lot of interesting people doing it. I'll say that. But,
right. People from all backgrounds, that I was a little kid from New Hampshire driving into Boston to play open mics. And you just met people who shattered everything you ever thought about any sort of stereotype. Like, oh God, I was wrong. And then they're sharing jokes that sort of vent their world, and you're trying your jokes. And so we're friends on what they call the Facebook. And that's how I watched your progression. Like the instant addiction to open mics. It's addicting, stand-up comedy. The idea of getting a laugh is what I'm addicted to. What are you addicted to when performing stand-up comedy?
I definitely am addicted to the idea of getting a laugh. I think that's definitely the high for me too. I like getting the laugh, the biggest laugh, to get to the point where you can go up and you're like, I'm going to have the best set of the night right now, and to have that arrogance is a lot of fun. For me, at least, to go up there and be like, I'm doing this tonight. I'm holding court for the next, 4 to 5 minutes. And if it's going really good, they're not going to like me,
Right. You're going to be able to go a little longer because you're crushing.
Yeah. So once you get one of those, that's what I feel like you're chasing the rest of your life, is that feeling of like, I am the most important person in the room right now because I am the funniest person in the room right now. Hear me. Like, if you're not listening right now, you are missing out. Everyone else is having a good time. Get on board.
Right. Any strategies you can share? Like I drop in on open mics, and it's like I can see the people who are not really taking it seriously, or they aren't trying to go in there and crush the F out of that mic. How do you get your mindset together to go in there and crush?
I always try to read the room on the set before mine. That's the biggest advice I always give people when they ask me about why or how I do my, what I do. I'm a big fan of, it's kind of like watching someone else, play golf, on the field before you or whatever. You see all the nuances going on. You can see, who's heckling them or who's ignoring them, or, you can just kind of get a feel for the whole room watching someone else's set before yours. And it's, just being present, I guess is the real word. Being present when you're up there is like the best thing you can do. Everybody wants to, write jokes and just perform their jokes and just say them like they're ready, which is great. But you gotta, it's just like anything. You gotta feel it out first. You gotta, know what you're dealing with in order to make anything work.
Awesome sound advice. Next, I noticed that you were touring. That was when my level of pride was like, fuck yes, Andres. And by touring, you're just leaving the state to go perform maybe, what were amateur shows or some professional shows, but it's bona fide touring. Like you had dates and trips.
There was a poster.
Did they let you leave the state, Andreas?
They let me leave the state.
Wow.
Yeah. I had to send my UAs in the mail. It was fun.
And then podcast. We got more to get to, but I'm sure students want to know about your podcast. Can you tell us about that?
I have a couple podcasts. The big one, I guess I encourage everyone to listen to, is called Los Chupacabros, which I host with 2 other comics, JD Lopez and Patrick Scott. We just 3 comics kind of dicking around, having a good time. We have different topics every week. It's always something kind of silly. Before that, I had Joke and Destroy, which is now just a showcase that I help run with my friend Jeremy Peischer. We've been under the Joke and Destroy banner for I think at least 4 years. So everything we do together is called Joke and Destroy, whether it be a podcast or a showcase. And we have that going on first Fridays at Wide right now.
Right. Great spot to go drink, students, if you're 21 plus, and a fun place to check out a show. Right. Got to be 21. And that's comedian owned and operated, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Super fun to support them. And I'm so grateful you jumped in. The folks are talking about you everywhere I go. There's people stop me going like, "Don't you know Andreas Becerill?" And I'm like, mm-hmm. And so I'd be glad to invite you back. I would love to have shows on campus when that's possible. And
yeah,
you're well in my mind for that. As A, you're very funny, and B, the students should just see someone who, went from desk to success. Like, it's so good what you're up to.
If you have any other new students that want to come out to the mics, that you can always tell them to come find me if anyone's giving them a hard time.
Oh, that's super generous. Yeah, if I need anybody to get that, I know what you're talking about, and
I will.
That's important.
I'm not going to get them up early on the show, but I know I wished I had someone be nice to me when I started. So
right. Well, that's super generous. Feel free to hang out. We've got some student created content to get through. And any chance, by the way, before I'm going to put some pressure on you, any chance you recall the Rosie O'Donnell joke from, I believe, the Final Exam comedy show? I should have sent you a note. And it was my boss's favorite.
Back when he had hair, you used to liken yourself to Rosie O'Donnell, and you'd insult us when we laughed at the association.
Self-deprecating, even at such a young age, I knew what I was.
Right. Well, you're an ace, and thanks for inviting students to connect with you. That's really nice of you. A nice round of applause for Andreas Becerill, everybody.
It's so good to see you again, Andreas. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Nick.
Thank you, sir. And Zoe, perhaps we have, look at that, we have slides right there. We got you make your own pumpkin spice latte. So Andreas, feel free to take one of those. I was wondering if you have ever listened to the Smashing Pumpkins, and somehow, I guess maybe you were for an emo. Thanks for that. Hey, folks, this is going to be live on YouTube. So in a few days, I'll get this episode posted up live on YouTube. Season 2 is on our YouTube comedy channel. So if you want to watch the previous episode, that's when we interviewed Swoop and other failed CityHawk Talk or CityHawk mascots. So we got the real mascot plus some failed versions of the mascot. I think our next episode, I have no idea how we're going to pull this off. We're going to do virtual bowling. Andreas, you did my Apocalypse comedy show where we did things like virtual cornhole. So I'm going to try virtual bowling. I have no idea what it is yet. I have a month to get there, and I look forward to it. We also have a link tree. I think that is next. I don't know how often we're supposed to water a link tree.
Nice. I don't know if they did either.
It's showing growth. There were no instructions as to how much water to put in there for the link tree. And find us at CCD Theater Arts. We've got connections to all of our Instagrams and YouTubes and whatnots. So we're just moving up in the world of social media. And here's a fun chance if you'd like to join us for some stage time, virtual stage and open mic. Andreas was just telling you about open mic. If you want to try comedy, they're great for if you want to try music, poetry, acting. If you are a public speaking student, you're like, I just want to try my speech. Get to the virtual stage and open mic, and we've got stage time for you. And we've covered some scholarships. There's one more coming up, the digital storytelling scholarship. Students, some of the students from Intro to the Entertainment Industry are here. This is the first semester where I've been able to try and time our digital storytelling lesson. The workshops are coming up, and there is a $500 scholarship, but the deadline is for November 3rd. So Andreas, that's something I wish I knew about when you were a student. It's how to make a video, and you can use the same technology to make your demo reel and whatnot for comedy. So a fun skill. This video I want to show, I hope we can try to show this. Zoe, you may have to have clicked share the audio. This is something students created in the Intro to the Entertainment Industry class, a resume tips for college students. And so students in our Intro to the Entertainment Industry class will be working on a project like this. After they take digital storytelling, we'll try to make a formal video. So do you want to try to roll the video? And we might have a little technical glitch here, but I don't know why my pause for silence helped. But...
And that concludes chapter 3. Now, chapter 4, resumes.
Is that you?
No, it's a me, Mario. No, I'm your conscience. You're dreaming in class right now.
What is this? What the hell am I wearing?
You're actually wearing a toga, and I'm here to show you the path of resumes past, present, and future. Back then, you needed to write down all of your relevant experiences and make sure to not make it an entire laundry list of everything you've done. Nobody wants to go through 12 pages of experience. Just make sure you're listing down the experiences that work with the type of job you're applying for.
Your resume scroll, please.
Thank you.
Hey, what's through that door?
That's the next part of resumes past. Now, let's keep moving back to the future and towards the next door.
So tell me about it, stud. Is this black and white?
Exactly, Daddy-O. You're gonna ride on cloud 9, so I recommend you write this down. Now, if we look at how we define our skills to how it was done back then, we can define them better using action verbs.
Wait, what's an action verb?
Well, action verbs in a resume are words that help define what you're able to do in an active way. For example, when you're someone within a group of people who took the initiative in a project, you can list down that you were initiated.
Well, I'm a hard worker.
Are you? You need to work hard and try to differentiate yourself.
I am different. I'm a cool cat.
Right.
Hey, what's through that other door?
That's resumes present.
Stay gold, pony boy. Where are we?
Like I already told you, we're in resumes present.
But there's nothing here.
Exactly. That's because you haven't done anything yet. Oh. Nice try, but this is your reality.
Oh, damn! What's all this for?
We're in resumes future. In this future, we're here to see what you did right to get the job.
Well, that's awesome. What did I do right?
Your resume, please. Thank you.
Not only did you dress to impress, but one of the core things that you were able to do was interpret what the job posting was looking for.
Congratulations, you are hired.
What you did was shape your resume to be the solution to their problem and help identify exactly what they're looking for. It's important to make sure to read exactly what the job is asking for and interpret that into your resume and cover letter. What are you going to do now?
I'm gonna go to Disneyland!
Sure you are.
that concludes chapter 4, resumes. Please pass your completed resume forward.
Bam. Thanks, Zoe, Zoe, thanks for sharing that. So that was created by students in our entertainment industry class. So it starred Leanne Wilkin as Alex, the character there, and included Juan Vargas as the announcer, and was directed by Monique Vilas. She's a student who wanted to create, she wanted to explore the film industry. So we decided as a project, Leanne had never starred in a video. So we said, let's just make a video. And then Juan works at voiceovers. So we got him an example. He can share this with people. And I'm pretty stoked about the outcome. So this part, I left this slide in by accident, gang. My fault there. Students in the class this week shared virtual field trips and did an outstanding job. We weren't quite ready to share them on the CityHawk Talk Live. So
what is a virtual field trip?
Maybe we can get Hannah to answer that. Hannah, can I trouble you to pop on camera again and walk us through a virtual field trip? It was an assignment I learned about in a training, like is send people on a virtual field trip, and then I sort of created it, and then all of a sudden the kids, like I didn't provide tons of instruction, and the students did a great job at creating like these wild virtual field trips. So we learned about one student's desire to create a pottery store. Another student walked us through their job in doing internet ad translation. It's really she's got like a really future built career. And then Hannah today took us through life on set as an actor. So Hannah, do you want to just explain what a virtual field trip is? Even though I just did, I don't know why I did that.
Sure. I can also try to share mine if you would like.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Right. So we're gonna do what we call a wing and an ear, and now here's Hannah's presentation, virtual field trip.
So it's kind of like a come with me day, and it's just of like a dream job you have in the future and what like a typical day would look like. So I went with actor, and the first thing is like your morning routine. So you gotta, depending on what time your call is, get up pretty early, get ready, get caffeinated, and prepared for work. During COVID, there's kind of a setback. So you check in with your CCO, which is a COVID compliance officer, and whatever your contract is for that job, you go through like the COVID protocol, which could be looking like getting a rapid test every 2 days on set, or temperature check, or COVID questionnaire, and then getting the appropriate mask wear or like information on what you need to do on set to make sure that you are following the rules and keeping everyone safe. And then to wardrobe and hair and makeup. Wardrobe is picked out by the customer, the production. Makeup, depending on set size, you either come with like basic makeup, or like based off the need of the character, you get your makeup done by the crew.
I want to be a Barbie girl.
Yeah, it seems pretty nice. She's just in transit, waiting for everything and all the glamour.
Right.
And then now you kind of have some downtime. You wait for the director, you meet up with them, and you have to wait for set to finish up with lights and all the finishing touches. And at this time is like a really good time to get back into like the mindset to prepare for the role. Personally, how I prepare for roles, I do two of my major things for the routine are like making a playlist for the character from their perspective and what they're going through in this like specific storyline, and listening to that, and then journal prep also from the character's perspective to kind of go over stuff. And then like the key list of things at this time, make sure like you're prepared and memorized, but you're also flexible for last minute line changes or scene changes. You can take direction and allowing yourself to play in this bounds of this reality that you created. And then we get to like actually filming, and this is the process that takes the longest. Patience is key on set. There's a lot of waiting around to make sure everything is going. Lights, audio, camera, and art department are all working to have a smooth operation. You can use this time again to touch base with the director and focus on characters. It is a cycle for however long the day is, of a few cuts, few scenes, readjusting cameras, readjusting light. So lots of that waiting around and lots of patience on set. And then my favorite time on set is the martini shot, which is the second to last shot of the day. When director calls martini, then everyone knows they're going home soon. And when you're an actor, you're one of the first to wrap and be able to leave set. And then you do your little like checklist, return costumes to wardrobe, check in with the producer and director. And then you go home and you get to wait for your next call sheet for a long day on set. So that's just like a timeline of one day on the set of being an actor. And that's a virtual field trip.
Impressive. That was pretty cool. And I think a pretty thorough, well done, accurate job, kind of wherever you're filming, whether it's a commercial or a TV show or a film. That's a pretty great sort of rundown of what a day in the life is like, especially that 5:22 a.m. A lot of folks, actors, I think actors sleep till noon, and that's not always the case.
Right. So the strategy here, boss, was just we're in week 2 of the class. Next week is resumes, and we just wanted to get people thinking about their career and being able to sort of articulate where they want to go. Hannah had a good expression of, it's kind of like a vision board. You know, like it doesn't have to come true. But she's working as an actress. This is stuff that happens to her. The other students explored their careers. You know, I was really impressed with their work. So nice job, Hannah. That was, I wasn't quite sure if you were, and I see Stacey is commenting. I think we're all appreciative of the martini shot, which is probably something we should just add to class. Like as class is wrapping up every week, I'm just going to be like, martini shot time, everybody.
Nice. We're just one clip away from our martini shot tonight. How's that for a transition?
Yeah, we've got videos, and then our headliner, my favorite guest of all time, every time, Stacey Sanders, will be coming up in just a moment. So Zoe, I know we have some more slides. These are pretty fun. Fear Street is coming up. Thanks, Professor Landon Melendez, for coming up with this idea. We're going to do a haunted experience in the King Center on the 5th floor, right, boss?
We are. It looks a little scary. I was seeing a couple of ideas and things happening, and I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been to a haunted house, but I certainly am looking forward to this. It should be pretty eclectic, pretty fun, and a nice way to kind of round out Halloween week on a Wednesday evening.
Yeah, and so students from Intro to the Entertainment Industry, check out this video that I made. I used the same video editing tool that you're about to use in class in 2 weeks. And look how, I was able to make something cool for our Facebook page, and we shared it on YouTube, and now we're able to share it here in the CityHawk Talk Live. So Zoe, do you want to play the Fear Street trailer? All right, it's just 30 seconds. It's not even I think it's like a 12-second video.
I love it.
I guess couldn't hear, or I'm getting all critical. Great job, Zoe. Thanks for getting that shared with us. Definitely more spooky fun on the 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Get to Terror in the Tivoli. That's going to be wicked awesome. And this student here is a few sheets to the wind. Let me tell you. I'm sorry.
Not quite 3.
I can't do these. I love this video. So nice job, Noah, on making this. We wanted to create a person on the street video. And so some of our students created a Bigfoot in the Street video, and
I haven't seen this yet.
I really enjoyed it. So
I can't wait.
Zoe, make sure we have sharing the sound on, and this is awesome.
What would you pumpkin spice?
I don't care if it's illegal. We need to get it done. Today. Right now.
Hey, what would you pumpkin spice?
Pumpkins, kid, I don't know. I'm busy right here, all right? Yeah. You know what?
Hey, you there. Tell me what about pumpkin spice? What would you put? Now that we're in the clear of danger, what would you pumpkin spice?
Well, after that traumatizing experience of the fire alarm going off, I think I would pumpkin spice firefighters.
Ooh.
That is my final answer. Coffee.
That was a good video. I think we had a couple of audio blips during the broadcasting of it, but I will do my best to either put that on the YouTube or put the original video inside the edit of this. Noah, I think that was you. Great job on our first on the street interview. And my favorite is the kid doing the kid pointing with the questions. He holds that pose for like 5 minutes throughout the whole video, and it works for me comedically. Very funny. Big finale for this season, September 7th. I guess we'll be having martini shots for the big finale. So December 7th, 5 p.m. live on Zoom, a student talent virtual showcase. We'll be showing you some of the best of our student productions and student work for a big finale. So thank you, Zoe, for reminding me about that. And I think we have, yes, she was a regular guest all last season, and big things happen when Stacey Sanders shows up on our show. Good things happen for youth who are separated from their siblings by the foster care system. I've over-directed and removed everyone. I think I've got Stacey right there. Hi, Stacey Sanders from Elevating Connections.
Hello, Chuck Roy. How are you? From
really
CCD
good.
and so many other things. Yeah.
I'm going to put us all on camera. You, me, and Dr. Nick.
Thank you. That was shockingly, my face was real big on my screen, and I'm not going to lie, that shocked me a little. So that's
right. So now we've got the trifecta going on here. Stacey, tell us briefly a little bit about what the work is for Elevating Connections. Then we'll talk about how the school is helping and can help.
Yes, absolutely. So we have two purposes at Elevating Connections. We are almost 7 years old, and I am the founder of this great organization. I'm very proud of that. So we work with siblings separated in foster care. We reunite them through summer camp and connecting events throughout the year. I do lots of advocacy and education around that topic. So super excited about that. We just had a connecting event on Sunday. We were at the park and the kids played kickball and basketball and did art. It was great. And then the other piece that we do is we raise youth voice, and we have a connection with older youth who've left the foster care system without perhaps finding a permanent connection. We do that, Chuck, as you know so well, through our annual poetry jam, through writing workshops. And thanks to our connection to you, we've added some new components to our fall programming, including comedy workshops, art, song, theater. Professor Landon Melendez came up for our Empowering Youth Expressions retreat recently. Camp and did a great workshop, as did you. And so we're working on some fall stuff around new ways to raise their voice and speak their truth, because there's more than one way to do that through the arts, as far as I'm concerned. And that's what we do.
Awesome. I'm going to ask two questions. The second one is going to be about why it's important to offer opportunities for them to use their voice. First, you were very eloquent in explaining this to me the first time we met. I remember I was like, is there any way we could get this more concise, like something I can market? Because I was hosting a benefit for you. And I was like, youth separated from their siblings by the foster care system, like, blah, blah, I can't pay attention that long. And then you were like, no, all the words are important. And can you just tell us why youth really do get separated from their siblings when they go into foster care? And then why is it important to have structured connecting events like this weekend going to the park?
So love that question, because as you know, I love to explain why it's so important. And if you think about your own life and relationships, the sibling relationship is often the longest relationship any of us will have. And so that's just important across the board, whether or not you've been in foster care. But when you think about the kids who have been in foster care, it means they've been removed from their home due to some form of abuse or neglect. So we remove them from that situation, which is traumatizing. It's traumatizing to be removed from their parents, no matter what has happened. Kids want to be with their parents. But then we separate them from the people who know them best and have the best connection with each other. And as we grow up, our connection to our siblings is so important. I have two sisters, and they're the ones I lean on and call, and they call me on my stuff and support me and love me. And they're my connection to my childhood and to my future and all those things. And so when we take that away from siblings who have been in care, we further traumatize them. We further create more mental health challenges and potentially truancy issues and placement changes and insecurities and things that we can really fix by keeping them together. So one of the best parts about the work that we do is by bringing them together, one, we just allow them to be kids. And just put aside the fact they're in foster care or have been in foster care. We also allow them to say, your sibling relationship is important. We let them know what their rights are. There are rights in Colorado that kids have, and the siblings have. And so we let them know that, but they just get to be kids and create memories, and they fight and they make up and they make fun of each other and they do all the things that siblings do in a safe space.
Right. You got to have a safe space for the kids. The foster parents, need to feel like they can trust you, drop the kid off for the program and whatnot. And you even help balance, say, any sort of relationship with the biological parents and whatnot. And, we've been talking about training. That's what you go train for, is how to host these kinds of events. And Nick, I know this is near and dear to your heart, but we connected with this issue right away, and I stopped by your office and I'm like, boss, what else can we do? And so we've met with the provost to find out how we can build connections. We'll show some photos of our theater department going up there. But the other day you were mentioning to me, Nick, that we're trying to formalize and inform the campus that we're trying to have a formal partnership here, or a connection between Elevating Connections and the Community College of Denver. Do you want to chat about that briefly? Or
sure. I think CCD is uniquely positioned to help these future students. There are a lot of hurdles and roadblocks in the way, and in the same way, the students that we encounter every day through being first generation, through trying to juggle part-time jobs, caring for family. There are a lot of unique circumstances, and a little guidance and a little extra TLC, especially in navigating something like, higher education that has, state rules and federal FAFSA and all of that. And, when we're talking about, folks that are trying to get the right foot started in their adult life, and, God, no one loves a hot mess more than me. I own it outright. And I think that when you are a hot mess and you're trying to set that foot forward from the beginning, you need someone who can say, all right, here's how we go about doing this. Here's how we go
Yeah.
about finding this documentation. And while we're waiting, we've got this and we can do this. And I think that because CCD has the capacity and more importantly, the folks at CCD are willing to do that and are committed to that part of our mission in being equitable to all. I think that it makes college a much more accessible pathway for folks. We're recovering from a pandemic. There are certainly jobs to be had everywhere. And Stacey, you work with a population of students who, more than anything, want to do just that, find a job, a career, a way to sustain and support themselves. In some ways, starting over without the foster system, CCD can really do a lot there. And I think anything we can do and can continue to do with workshops and hosting the poetry jam and bringing students on campus for improvs and tours. I mean, anyone that's been on a tour of a theater knows that there's something magical about getting a behind the scenes tour up into the catwalks or the makeup rooms and all of those hidden parts of the theater. And I think that it's just another way that CCD makes higher education, makes the arts accessible to everyone.
And this was just supposed to be simple. I dropped into your office right before we did the Kennedy Center thing where I got an award. And, I was like, this group, we got to bring them to campus. The kids need to see the school. We should loan them some office space or, meeting space. And that way the kids are walking across campus and all that. And you were like, yeah. And then COVID was like, eh. And so, we're struggling. This year we had really hoped to do something like a scavenger hunt, and just can't do it this year virtually. But the idea is to bring the youth to campus and just help them find some career training and whatnot. And so I know we have some slides. We went up to the camp last week. One of our acting professors did a workshop. This is a band whose name is just escaping me right now, Stacey.
Boredom Fighters. The
Boredom Fighters. They've got a foundation and they do lots of different trainings with youth and people who've got a variety of challenges. So this happens in the morning. The kids go out and record sounds. Then in that room, they record sounds, play instruments, and the Boredom Fighters assemble it all into a song. And so then after our workshops, the song was ready, and the kids, it's like in the morning, create, in the evening, celebrate and listen to your thing. 90 seconds to martinis. So 2 more slides. I think we got Landon and myself. Oh, there's me. And then there's Landon. Proof we were up there, and just a wicked awesome experience going up to the camp. And we did a comedy workshop and theater workshop. So, Stacey, I'm glad you're here again, and I invite you back to every one of these so we can just keep connecting you to resources like Kim, who shared a scholarship, and then to the students who are here and watching. I hope you're connected to the same mission. Perhaps we create a digital storytelling video for Stacey. Those would be some goals we'd really like to get to. So, Stacey, closing thoughts?
Yes, just around that youth voice piece and why it's so important. It's important for all of us to be able to speak our truth and talk about our story and share our experiences, because we're more alike than we are different in terms of how we interact with the world. But what is so great about the arts, and I think is so critical, is there's so many different ways to share your story. It's therapeutic, it's helpful. It's powerful for other people to hear your story, whether that's through theater, song, comedy, art, spoken word. We all have something to share, and arts, I think, is the best way to go about doing that.
So Stacey, am I hearing you correctly that you would pumpkin spice the arts?
Hello. We call a callback and a closer all in once, everybody.
Mic drop.
Right. Coming up on campus is the Candyman. If you could tell us, here we go. Movie night at Tivoli Turnhale. It's Candyman the movie. It's going to be scary, but Thursday, October 28th at 5 p.m. go over there and enjoy the movie. And also, it looks like fall break is coming up, November 22nd to the 28th. I guess students will let you have a break. So enjoy your Thanksgiving break. And then I think we pumpkin spiced everything, everybody. And we did a good job. Please join us next time for virtual bowling. And it is going to be a turkey for me, a turkey for you, and a whole lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for CityHawk Talk Live.
Thank you.
Damn. I think we did it.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap, and that's a martini shot. Nice job, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.